Greetings and salutations, guys. Rad Dreams here with Rad Dreams here on YouTube, as well as Rad Dreams here on Twitch. And today we'll be covering something that I have been meaning to do for the past, I don't know, 3 years. I mean, the last time I watched a Indian cinema or Indian film was 3 years ago with RRR. Or if you want, you can check that video out before this one or after, whatever your pleasure is. But it's been quite some time since I've covered anything related to Indian cinema. And to make matters, I guess, better, is this will be the second film I will be covering from SS Rajamouli. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But he was the director for RRR. And we will be watching his, I would argue, his breakout film, Baahubali. I think that's how you also pronounce it. This is the beginning. We'll only be covering part one in this video. I have yet to watch part two, but hopefully we will watch that and cover the saga in its entirety. I know I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here, but I had the opportunity to watch Baahubali. What was it? Not that long ago. It was maybe a week or two ago. I actually checked it out for the first time. But this will be my review, my commentary over Baahubali: The Beginning, directed by none other than SS Rajamouli. So basically, we have our main character here, Shiva, or his character's name is just, he's like Shivadu mixed with what's it called, Baahubali. He's like the reincarnation of this character, or this entity. He is the son of the people's savior, Amarendra Bali. I'm just trying to get... here we go, yes. Shivadu and Baahubali. Those are his two kind of personas. But he's played by the devilishly handsome Prabhas, which you will know from, RRR. He makes an appearance, it seems, in a lot of Rajamouli's films. I mean, he's a good-looking cat, honestly. Let me actually go ahead and show you. Let's see if I have a good picture of him in the film. Let's find out. Window capture. Select window, photos. There we are. So basically, this is this is him on the right. He's a good-looking cat, honestly. And he's with his love interest in the film. Her name, if I remember how to pronounce it. Let's remember how to... It's like... oh, gosh. Avantika. There it is, Avantika. That is her character, and that's them kind of like reconnecting with one another in the icy mountains. But yeah, handsome devil. So that's Prabhas. Very, very handsome man, honestly. But basically we follow him at the start of the film. His mother's being chased by a bunch of soldiers, and presumably she is, being ostracized or ousted from the kingdom, right? The kingdom in question is the Mahishmati kingdom. And she's being chased out because I think that it's either Devasena's his mother or Shivagami is his mother. I'm trying to remember which is his mother. But anyway, she's being chased out of the kingdom. Baby in hand. Excuse me. I'm like getting over being sick. so my voice is a little weird. But anyway, she's being chased out. She has the baby. She's praying to the god Shiva to basically, allow her child to be saved or live in exchange for, her own life. And luckily, she is able to save her child of Shiva, again played by Prabhas. And he is raised then by a tribal people. And then he has this like obsession with like climbing this massive, massive mountain that is in his village. He's just consumed with this thought of just scaling this mountain just to see what's there. And eventually, he does it. That's how kind of the film proper starts. He scales this mountain just to basically see if he can. And again, he does. And throughout this course, he is then introduced. Let me bring it up here. To Avantika. So she is this character right here. She is basically like a tribal warrior woman. Very cool character. I loved her design in this. Loved how they portrayed her. Very similar to like Katniss Everdeen in a way from Hunger Games in terms of like her ability and her know-how. But they get kind of thrown together here. And then, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's see. Okay. There's kind of a close-up of her. But I know you saw some pictures there. So they have okay, here we go. Right here. I love this scene, actually, where she's just like, hey, I'm going to kill you. But one of my issues with this sequence of events is, he's just like, oh my God, I love you. Never met you before in my life, but you know what? I want to be with you forever. Let's consummate this relationship. Let's be together, baby. And then they perform a musical number together, which I don't have a problem with at all. I thought it was a good number. It was a good scene. However, my issue is if you look, so she's kind of darker skinned here, right? But in the scene with him, with Shiva, her skin tone is like really, really highly contrasted. She almost looks white, and she's almost like a completely different character. I mean, look at this. Like, I mean, that looks pretty darker skin to me. And then here, she's like, "Oh my God, did you scale a mountain to reach me?" She looks like a completely different person here. It was a weird choice. Like this right here, I had an issue with. Completely looks like a different character to me. She's absolutely gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. She is a very attractive woman. But you cannot tell me that this woman is this woman. You can't. Like, look at that. I don't know what the decision was with that or why they decided to highly contrast her like that, but I don't know. That was like one of my complaints about the film. And then, they're escaping from soldiers here, in these mountains right here. There's a sequence here where the CG was a little lackluster for me, but you have to also remember this is a film from 2015 and they're not getting any sort of help from Hollywood. This is a pure and simple Indian film, right? They're using their own tech, their own resources. So you can't expect it to be on that like holy shit level for the CG. Honestly, it was pretty good. It just could have been a little bit more elevated in my opinion. So that scene was a little lackluster with the effects. And then there was this one scene where the soldiers are chasing them and Shiva kicks a boulder onto the mountain itself and causes like an avalanche. But I'm just like thinking to myself, would that truly cause an avalanche? I don't know. But just some like physics bullshit that I'm like, I don't know. And then let's see. Like this scene right here, she looks like her, right? Because he's basically like undressing her during this like musical sequence. I know I'm like jumping around a little bit. Blame my ADHD. But this part right here, she does look like Avantika, or like the actress. Like her skin is very dark. It's darker, not very dark, but and then right there, it's I don't know. Like, am I crazy? Like, she's tan there, darker skin, and then here she looks fucking white. I don't know. Sorry, I keep on harping on that. Uh, then throughout the course of the film, we, understand Shiva's backstory, where he's the reincarnation of this royal entity known as Baahubali. Uh, and he is the brother of what's his face, Baladiva, played by Rana Dagubati. Another handsome devil right here. Let's see if I can find a cool picture of him. Let me see if I can find a good picture of his character. Do. Yeah, to me, like, I don't know. This doesn't look like. Oh, hold on. I'm not even sharing it. Window capture. Like, I don't know. This doesn't look like her to me. That's our man. That's the man. That's Shiva. Good looking cat right there. I'm trying to find a picture of his brother. Is that him? That might be him. But that's him on the right there. There's Shiva. Good looking cat, honestly. There's Shiva again. Or no, is that? No, okay, that is his brother. That is his brother. I'm pretty sure. Maybe. No, he's got the sword. Where is he? Ah, here we go. Right here on the left. That's him. That's the boy. And then there's Shiva. But this is the one scene too. She just looks like a different actress to me. I don't know. Like this looks normal to me. And then the higher contrast. Just odd. This is the musical scene that I was talking about earlier with them. Yeah, like to me, they made her look really rugged. And then in the musical number, she just looks plain. I don't know. There's the boy. Look at that handsome devil. He's just a good-looking cat. I like him. He's just a bundle of joy. But anywho, we find out that he's a royal. His brother is also a royal. Let me get rid of that window. Bam. And then we dive into the backstory as told by this other character who's a really cool warrior. His name is Kappa, played by Satyaraji. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But he is a older gentleman. Let's get a picture of him up here. Let me find him. There we go. There he is. Window capture. Properties. Photos. There's the guy. This guy's a great character. I love the actor who plays him. But we are told the backstory of Shiva's origins through him towards the second half of the film. And there is another portion where we see a massive like war scene, and the goal of this scene is whoever slays the opposing warlord is then chosen as the new leader of the land or new king. And so the two brothers are competing with one another to see, hey, which one of us is going to be able to kill the opposing force first, right? The opposing warlord. And his brother, like an absolute fucking menace, takes out this device that is almost akin to a massive lawnmower with blades on it, and it is operated by horse and carriage, and he pulls it, and the blades spin and everything. But it's a huge freaking killing machine, and it's really a cool moment. This is probably one of my favorite moments in the film itself, is the war scene, because it reminds me of this video game called Dynasty Warriors, and his brother, I always am forgetting his name. His brother Baladiva will do anything it takes to win this battle. I'm trying to find the Dynasty Warriors character that he reminded me of. Warriors character with a metal sphere weapon. Not interested. Where was it? Dong Zhao. Yeah, Dong Zhao, I believe. Dynasty Warriors. Dong Zhao. Yeah, this guy right here. He just reminded me. His weapon reminded me of him so much. Let me get a window capture for you. Properties. But yeah, this gentleman right here reminded me of Baladiva. Mainly his weapon. Because he has like this spherical weapon that he just like swings around, to try to knock out as many enemies as he possibly can. But great scene, honestly. The film, for the most part, was reminiscent of 300, as well as The Matrix as well. And honestly, I'm not calling it like a copy or anything of the sort. I'm just saying that Baahubali, the film, took inspiration from Zack Snyder's 300, as well as the Wachowski brothers, now Wachowski sisters, Matrix, because there's a couple of scenes in particular where the cinematography, editing, and action sequences are very similar. Like there's during that war scene I was just speaking about, they implement the phalanx battle technique that Roman soldiers used to do, shield, spear. Now, we saw that in, 300, but again, it's not a copy. It's just a inspiration. But I appreciated it nonetheless. I thought it was a good scene. And then there was one major complaint that I had with the film, which was the pacing. I thought the pacing was a little off, and there's a little bit of continuity that was a little misplaced. So the story could have flowed a little bit more cohesively. Like, the message still got across, but it just could have been tighter. You know what I mean? It just could have flowed better. Like, there was this specific scene that I had issue with, where it was a musical number where we're being told the backstory of the two brothers, Bahubali and Baladiva, back in the day, they're instructed to find this dissenter, this traitor, and they have to go to this, other place to find him. They do, and then we're given this like huge musical number. But I'm just like thinking to myself, okay, well, what's the point of this scene? It was a cool scene, but it was basically just Shiva's ancestor Bahubali aura farming, being a cool dude. But it was just like, okay, well, what's the point? Is it distraction? Is that the point of this musical number, is to distract? And then it cuts from that number to the traitor that they are supposed to apprehend. I just thought that was kind of a waste of a scene, waste of a musical number. Could have been a little bit better. Like, they could have accomplished the same effect without the musical number. I felt it detracted from the film itself, but that's just a minor complaint. And then I know it seems like I'm bashing on the film, but trust me, these are just very, very minor criticisms of the film itself. The acting could have been a little bit better as well, especially with Prabhas. His character could have been a little bit more nuanced, but he was just kind of one-dimensional. He was just kind of like I said earlier, aura farming throughout the entire film, which is fine. Like, I love his character so much. It's just the performances themselves could have been a little bit better in terms of like line delivery. It just could have been more impactful, But overall though, the music was very, very well done. Cinematography was very, very clean. The action was awesome. I loved the action. Like, this movie is definitely the definition of spectacle, which is really cool to me. I love movies that are just no holds bar spectacle, just like boom, 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 poppy. And that's what this film felt like to me. It was like almost like a master class in how to do a bombastic film, right? It was like the art of the spectacle. That's what this felt like, and you could really see the blueprints for RRR in this film. And I'm really looking forward to watching part 2 of Bahubali. I hope it's as good as this, if not better. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a solid film. Just some minor complaints here and there. I know maybe it seemed like I was bashing it, but trust me, I'm not. It was just very, very minor complaints about the film itself. But yeah, I definitely think it's worth checking out. It is hard to find. I was able to find it and watch it. I think I watched it in Telugu in terms of the language that it was presented in, with English subtitles. So hopefully I didn't miss anything in terms of like dialogue and that it was subtitled correctly. But for the most part, I kind of got what the movie was doing. Even if the subtitles were wrong or what have you. But yeah, if you have yet to check out Bahubali, I recommend doing so. I'm looking forward to watching the second one and giving my thoughts on that, as well as the thoughts on this, saga itself. So with that being said, guys, I think I would give it an 8 out of 10. Honestly, it's a good flick, good action, good spectacle, man. I really recommend checking it out. So look forward to the next video on part 2, the conclusion of Bahubali. With that being said, guys, hopefully you stay safe out there, and above all else, I hope that you stay rad. Take care, guys. Bye.